Now today we're replacing hydraulic jack oil, in this case on a 7-year-old Craftsman 3-ton floor jack. This jack is roughly 7 years old. It's still lifting vehicles perfectly fine, but the cradle is not sitting in its set position, and really it's a good time to replace it. Now the first step is opening the relief valve. To do that, I'm just taking the handle and turning it counterclockwise until it stops. So now we need to drain the oil, and that's simple enough. So here, just place down the handle all the way down. Now this very, very long and heavy handle is keeping this section of the jack down. In other words, if I remove this handle, see how this snaps back up? And right here is the fill hole. So I just have a block of wood to hold this in place. You can keep the handle where it is, but this is, I think, a little bit easier because it's a very, very heavy jack. So now we're going to remove the rubber grommet from the jack, and I'm not using a flathead screwdriver because I don't want to rip this grommet. So this is just a really nice tool regarding removing plastic interior pieces. And just gently, it's a little difficult with the wood here, but oh, and it ripped off. Now, unfortunately, the old rubber grommet just completely tore in half on the top end. And after 7 years, what can you expect? So here we are 2 days later. I ordered a bunch of replacements off Amazon. They were like $5. I'll have a link in the description box below in case you do need some replacement plugs. But now we're going to tip the jack and let all of the old fluid drain out. Now these floor jacks sometimes can be really heavy, so just be careful you don't, kill your lower back trying to do this. There we go. So now we're going to add fresh jack fluid, and I just have a piece of vinyl tubing running to the valley, right to that fill hole, just because it's so deep in the jack and I don't want to make a big mess. So I'll just insert the fluid through the vinyl tubing, and you want to fill it up right to the bottom of the fill hole. Again, just using the plastic trim removal tool set I have here. And the main thing, of course, just make sure you have a nice seal. Now to purge the system, it's very, very simple. I'm just turning the handle until it stops clockwise. Okay, then turn it counterclockwise until it stops, and then pump the handle a good 8 times. And now I have a flathead screwdriver. You're not removing the oil plug, but just slightly push at it. And this is actually a little bit too much fluid, but this lets all of the air out of the jack. And now the jack is ready to use, so let's quickly test it out. And as you can clearly see, I know it's a little dark back here, but the floor jack holding the vehicle, no problem whatsoever. As always, thank you so much for watching.